Ladies, let me tell you something. When a man breaks your heart, it's not your job to break down. It's your time to level up. He walked out? Good. Let him walk. But don't go chasing, crying, or begging. No, you don't break his heart, you break his ego. And how do you do that? By becoming the woman he never thought you'd become without him. You know, sometimes the loudest message you can send a man is no message at all. Let me tell you something, from a man's perspective, when a woman goes quiet, when she stops calling, texting, questioning, begging, checking in, or even caring enough to argue, that silence is deafening. And trust me, it hits different. See, when he broke your heart, he expected a reaction. He expected tears, breakdowns, drama. He expected you to blow up his phone, write long paragraphs, ask why, try to fix it. Because that's what most people do. They get hurt and immediately feel the need to respond, to fill the silence, to reach for closure. But what he didn't expect, what he can't handle, is when you don't say a word. When you simply disappear from his world like he never existed in yours. That's when the silence starts echoing in his ears, louder than any fight you could have. You want to break a man's ego? Don't argue with him. Don't throw shade on social media. Don't show him you're pressed. Just go quiet. Because when a man sees a woman who once gave her all, her love, her energy, her attention, suddenly treat him like a stranger, he feels it in his pride. He starts wondering, wait, did I really mean nothing to her? Is she really done? That uncertainty, that confusion, that's his ego starting to crack. And let me be real with you, the ego is fragile. Most men, they don't know how to process being ignored by someone they thought they had control over. They're used to getting a reaction. So when you take that power back, when you stop responding, you shift the dynamic. Suddenly, he's no longer in control. You are. Your silence becomes your strength. It becomes your weapon, not out of revenge, but out of reclamation, reclaiming your dignity, your peace, your energy. Now, I know it's hard, that silence is heavy, especially when you got so much to say, so many questions, so much pain. But let me tell you this, not everything needs to be said. Some things are better left unsaid and unbothered. Because the truth is, no matter how many times you explain yourself, it won't make someone respect you if they never saw your worth in the first place. Words don't, but your silence, your distance, that does. You ever notice how someone who once ignored your messages suddenly starts watching your stories more, liking your posts more, sending those "Hey stranger" texts? That's not coincidence, that's ego checking in. That's him realizing he's no longer on your radar, that he doesn't have your energy anymore. And now he wants it back, not always because he values you, but because his ego can't handle being forgotten. But by then, you're already gone, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Because silence doesn't just break his ego, it heals you. It gives you space to reflect, to rediscover yourself, to grow. When you stop talking to him, you start talking to you. You realize how much energy you were pouring into someone who didn't pour back. You realize how much noise you were surrounded by and how beautiful peace really is. So stop thinking you need to prove your worth through words. You don't need to show him what he lost. Just let him feel it in your absence, in your silence, in your glow up. Let your peace be so loud it drowns out the pain. Let your growth speak volumes. You don't owe explanations to anyone who couldn't appreciate you when they had you. If he broke your heart, then break the cycle. Stop giving access to people who misuse it. Sometimes the best closure is no closure. Sometimes the best response is no response. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away in silence. Not because you're weak, but because you finally know your worth. When somebody breaks your heart, your first instinct is to get back at them. That's human. You want them to hurt like you hurt. You want them to feel that sting, that disappointment, that betrayal. But let me tell you something that I've learned, and not just as a man, but as a man who's lived, loved, and lost. Revenge don't heal you, it just delays your healing. Every moment you spend plotting how to get even is another moment you're not moving forward. Let's keep it real. You could post a picture to make him jealous. You could flirt with his friend. You could throw slick shade in your captions. And maybe it'll work for a second. Maybe he'll even react. But then what? You still feel empty inside. Because revenge might hit his ego, but it don't fix your broken spirit. What you need is not a plan to hurt him back. You need a plan to rebuild you. That pain he caused you, use it, turn it into fuel. Start showing up for yourself like you used to show up for him. You put all that effort into loving him. Now flip that and put that same energy into loving you. Get back to your goals. Reignite your dreams. Fix your crown. Don't let heartbreak keep you down when it could be the very thing that lifts you up. You see, the most powerful transformation happens when you stop trying to prove a point and start trying to prove to yourself that you can rise from anything. Don't let what he did define you. Let it refine you. Let it build a stronger version of yourself. The woman who doesn't chase closure, who doesn't beg for attention, who doesn't need validation from anyone who couldn't see her value in the first place. This is your season to rebuild. Brick by brick, piece by piece. Fix your mindset, clean your circle, strengthen your spirit. You want to break his ego? Don't give him a front row seat to your pain. Give him the silence of not knowing what's next for you. And then go create a life so beautiful, so peaceful, so focused that he realizes he lost access to something priceless. Let me tell you something. No revenge can match the satisfaction of personal growth. You don't have to destroy him. Let his own decisions do that. Karma, it's not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it looks like watching you glow while he stays stuck in the best part. You don't have to lift a finger. All you've got to do is rise. And baby, you will rise. You will rise when you stop scrolling through his feed. You will rise when you delete those old messages. You will rise when you choose peace over drama. And most importantly, you will rise when you stop wishing it went differently and start accepting that it was never meant for you in the first place. Don't seek revenge. Seek renewal. Because once you rebuild yourself, not only will you feel whole again, you'll also reach a point where you look back and say, thank God that happened. It taught me who I am. That's when you know you've healed. That's when you know you're not just surviving heartbreak, you're using it as your breakthrough. Let him stay stuck in his old patterns. You're not that woman anymore. You're not the one crying yourself to sleep, wondering what you did wrong. You're the woman rebuilding her life. And this time, it's built on self-respect, self-love, and self-worth. No revenge can top that. You ever notice how the best revenge isn't throwing shade or stirring up drama? It's showing up every day and proving to the world and to yourself that you're unstoppable. When someone hurts you, all that noise you feel is meant to drown out the silence of self-doubt. Instead of feeding that fire with bitterness, channel every drop of energy into building a life so extraordinary that it echoes your resilience. Every time you hustle, every time you rise above the negativity, you send a message louder than any argument ever could. Your growth, your success, your achievements, they become the ultimate clapback. Think about it for a moment. When you're busy crafting your own destiny, you're not concerned about what he did or the empty promises he made. Instead, you're investing in yourself, mastering your craft, and setting goals that leave no room for regrets. While he's stuck wondering what went wrong, you're out there winning, turning every setback into a setup for a major comeback. That transformation isn't about hurting him. It's about healing you, about flourishing beyond the limitations that heartbreak tried to impose. And trust me, there's nothing in the world more satisfying than achieving goals that once seemed impossible. Remember, success is a series of small wins added together, a beautifully orchestrated symphony of persistence and determination. Every time you wake up early, every choice you make to invest in your future, every moment you choose joy over sorrow, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. And let me tell you something, nothing can hurt a man's ego quite like realizing that while he was busy breaking your heart, you were busy breaking your own limits. His pride may have been wounded, but your spirit is in full bloom, unstoppable and radiant. When you let your success do the talking, you're sending out a clear message to anyone who ever doubted you, that your worth isn't dictated by someone else's inability to appreciate it. Instead of clinging to memories of what used to be, you create a life defined by your own standards, where every achievement is a statement that you are more than what he ever let you believe. Your new pursuits, those fresh dreams, and the milestones you set for yourself become living proof that your value transcends any temporary heartbreak. There's real power in letting your silence become a backdrop to your advancement. You turn heartbreak into a launch pad for a future filled with promise. While he may be busy trying to reclaim what he lost, you're running the race of life with unmatched determination. Every milestone you reach, every goal you smash, every step you take towards becoming the best version of yourself, you affirm that his actions do not define your path. Success is not just the measure of financial or social achievements. It's the inner victory you attain when you decide that every setback is a redirection towards something better. Picture this, instead of wasting energy on thoughts of what could have been, you make every day count. You set up meetings with your goals, break them down into achievable targets, and celebrate each victory along the way. This is your way of saying, I'm not defined by your departure, I'm defined by the brilliance I create. Each success story you write in your life is like a masterstroke on a canvas that boldly proclaims your victory over circumstances that once sought to hold you back. And here's another truth. When you reach heights that even you once thought were out of reach, the world around you will start to notice. His ego might ache, watching you transform adversity into greatness. Your success becomes a living reminder that true power lies in self-belief, in relentless pursuit of one's dreams, and in the courage to start again after every fall. The louder his protest, the clearer it is your triumph is the sweetest form of validation. You aren't just moving on, you're moving upward, leaving behind shadows of a past that no longer serve you. It's that transformation, the quiet, determined building of a new, enriched self that shouts out louder than any argument ever could. While he remains caught up in what was lost, you flourish in what you have become. In every achievement, in every step toward your aspirations, you not only break his ego, but also remind yourself of the limitless potential within. And that in itself is the true essence of victory. Let me tell you something right now. When you know your worth, everything changes. The way you walk changes. The way you talk changes. The way you let people treat you, that changes too. Knowing your worth is like flipping a switch inside you. Suddenly, you stop accepting half effort, broken promises, and inconsistent love. You stop settling for being an option when you know deep down you were always meant to be the prize. See, when he broke your heart, it hurt. No question about that. But that pain, it wasn't just about losing him. It was about forgetting who you were. You forgot how powerful you are, how beautiful your energy is, how rare your heart is. You forgot that you were the blessing in his life, not the other way around. And once you start remembering that, once you reconnect with your self-worth, you stop trying to get him back and start focusing on getting yourself back. Self-worth means you no longer chase. You no longer try to convince someone to choose you, to love you, to treat you right. Because love shouldn't have to be begged for. Respect shouldn't come with conditions. A woman who knows her worth doesn't wait around for a man to realize it. She recognizes when someone can't meet her standards and she keeps it moving. No anger, no drama, just grace. Let me make it plain. When you respect yourself, you don't entertain people who can't handle that. A man who is never ready to step up will feel uncomfortable when he sees you stepping into your power. And guess what? That's not your problem. Your value doesn't decrease because someone couldn't see it. His inability to love you properly isn't a reflection of your lack. It's a reflection of his limits. You've got to stop tying your value to how someone else treats you. A diamond is still a diamond whether it's in the spotlight or buried in the dirt. Whether he saw it or not, you were always valuable. But now, it's time for you to see it too. When you really understand what you bring to the table, your loyalty, your heart, your strength, your light, you stop letting people pull up with plastic forks and paper plates. Here's the truth. People treat you the way you allow them to. So if someone mishandles you, disrespects you, takes you for granted, and you keep accepting it, you're teaching them that's all you're willing to accept. But when you raise your standards and stick to them, you start attracting a different kind of energy, the kind that matches yours, the kind that doesn't play games with your heart. And it's not just about romantic relationships. Self-worth changes everything. It affects how you handle friendships, how you go after your goals, how you speak about yourself, how you move through the world. It becomes your compass. You stop doubting your decisions. You stop second-guessing your intuition. You walk with certainty because you know what you deserve, and you're no longer afraid to demand it. So no, you don't break his ego by acting out, yelling, or getting even. You break it by rising, by becoming so confident, so self-assured, so at peace that he can't shake the thought of losing you. You break it by showing him, and more importantly, yourself, that his absence didn't destroy you, it awakened you. And now that you've remembered who you are, you're unstoppable. And that's the kind of woman nobody forgets.